Some people will never understand any explanations, so say no without explaining yourself. Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Being able to say no without feeling the need to justify yourself is a transformational ability in a world full of unending requests and commitments. It's important to respect your boundaries, recover your time, and conserve your energy, in addition to turning down requests. Being able to politely decline requests without justification gives you the ability to put your own needs first, concentrate on what's really important, and develop a deeper level of sincerity in your relationships. Here's 7 ways to learn about the value of establishing boundaries, conquering anxieties, and gaining the self-assurance to politely decline without feeling guilty or hesitant. Before we begin, I'd like to ask you to make sure watch this video until the end, because every step is important. 1. Realizing how important it is to say no. A key component of self-care and personal empowerment is learning to say no, which calls for a thorough awareness of one's own needs, priorities, and limitations. It involves deliberately selecting where to devote one's time, effort, and resources, rather than just saying no to a request or opportunity. Individuals can prioritize activities that are in line with their beliefs and ambitions by appreciating the worth of these resources, which will ultimately result in a more purposeful and meaningful existence. Saying yes to requests from others all the time can also result in overcommitment, stress, and a feeling of overload, all of which are bad for one's physical and mental health. Therefore, it's crucial to develop the ability to say no without feeling the need to defend oneself in order to create boundaries, preserve equilibrium, and uphold one's integrity. 2. Determining individual limitations. It takes a complex combination of self-awareness, assertiveness, and reflection to establish clear personal limits. It calls on people to consider their past encounters, evaluate their comfort zones, and identify boundaries in a variety of spheres of life, including relationships, employment, and personal time and space. People can establish limits that safeguard their bodily, emotional, and mental health by knowing what is reasonable and comfortable. This self-awareness is essential for identifying when a request or opportunity crosses certain lines and for politely but firmly reclaiming one's sovereignty. Furthermore, the cornerstones of mutual respect, good communication, and healthy relationships are laid by acknowledging and honoring one's own boundaries. 3. Overcoming the fear of disappointing others. A complex feeling. The dread of disappointing or upsetting others can originate from a number of things, such as personal convictions, cultural standards, and society expectations. Saying no without explanation is frequently hampered by people's concern of coming across as conceited, useless, or cruel, but it's crucial to understand that putting one's own wants and limits first is not essentially selfish. Rather, it's essential for general well-being. In order to overcome this anxiety, people must confront false ideas and self-defeating thoughts, practice self-compassion, and strengthen their assertiveness. People can learn to confidently and politely communicate their limits by changing the way the word no is perceived. This will ultimately lead to the development of more genuine and healthy relationships built on respect and understanding. 4. Improving communication and assertiveness skills. To present oneself confidently and responsibly in a variety of social and professional contexts, one must cultivate assertiveness and good communication skills. Saying no without feeling the need to defend oneself calls on people to speak clearly and directly while yet being respectful and empathetic to others. This entails expressing preferences and sentiments using I statements, establishing firm yet courteous limits, and refraining from overly apologizing or providing needless justifications. Furthermore, developing one's empathy, emotional intelligence, and active listening skills can help people handle challenging talks with dignity and grace. By developing these abilities, people can confidently and assertively set boundaries, which will ultimately lead to the development of healthier and more respected interpersonal interactions. 5. Setting clear expectations and alternatives. In order to show the other person that you are kindly and supportive, it's crucial to establish clear expectations, and, if necessary, provide alternatives when saying no without explanation. This entails politely and confidently expressing one's decision, without needlessly overcompensating or rationalizing it. People can reduce any potential misunderstandings or animosity by giving a succinct but unambiguous reason for their refusal, which can aid others in understanding their point of view. Furthermore, putting out recommendations or alternatives might demonstrate that people are still eager to support others within their limits, even when the request may not be currently possible. This strategy encourages cooperation, open communication, and respect for one another, which eventually strengthens bonds and gradually develops trust. 6. Reflecting on oneself and learning from experience. Every time you say no without giving a reason, you give yourself a chance to grow, learn, and discover who you are. It's critical for people to think back on their previous encounters, spot trends, triggers, and opportunities for development, then use these observations to inform their interactions going forward. Through self-reflection, people can better understand their own needs, boundaries, and communication styles, which in turn gives them the confidence and respect to assert themselves in a variety of settings. Accepting failures and mistakes as a necessary part of the learning process can help people become more resilient, self-aware, and self-assured, which will ultimately help them handle challenging situations and interpersonal interactions with dignity and grace. 7. Fostering confidence and self-compassion. The ability to say no without feeling the need to defend oneself calls for the development of self-compassion and self-worth. It's critical that people understand that putting their personal wants and limits first is not selfish, but rather essential to their general well-being. This entails addressing critical self-talk, engaging in self-care, and asking for help from dependable family members, friends, or experts. Individuals can establish their boundaries with confidence and respect by practicing assertiveness training, positive affirmations, and personal development activities. This will ultimately lead to the establishment of healthier and more satisfying relationships. People may handle a variety of social and professional settings with grace, honesty, and authenticity if they prioritize self-care and personal development. Remember that saying no without justification is a statement of one's own value and respect for oneself rather than a rejection of others, as we come to the end of our exploration into the world of assertive communication and boundary setting. Adopting this ability allows you to take back control of your time and energy, cultivate more respectful relationships, and open the door to more authenticity and fulfillment in all facets of your life. Therefore, have the courage to decline with confidence, knowing that you are taking care of your needs, promoting your well-being, and giving yourself the freedom to live a life that is consistent with your goals and values. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you soon.